So I'm gonna need you to explain it to me like I'm 10. I want you to really break this down to me like I'm 10 years old and tell me why ICE agents zip tying black babies in Chicago, because I can't for the life of me understand why this happened. Why was this necessary? These are black babies, American citizens living in Chicago, but ICE agents are zip tying them because they pose a threat to who? They are a danger to what? T- I need you to explain this to me like I'm 10. Not only why did this happen, why is there not collective outrage behind it? Why is this not on the news? Why is this not being covered? Why is this not being talked about by almost anybody but a handful of black people in this country?
Kids were actively separated from their mother. She said it was heartbreaking to watch. Right now, we have some very serious and horrific news right now about the Chicago ICE raid on a residential apartment building earlier this week that not many people are talking about. We're learning more group through some details in this moment. Ebony Sweet Swatson, who's a neighbor of the apartment building, lives right across the street, says it looked like hundreds of agents were outside of her front door. She saw where agents dragging residents across the grounds, including children, out of the building without any clothes on and into U-Haul vans. Kids were actively separated from their mother. She said it was heartbreaking to watch because even if you're not a mother, seeing kids, quote, coming out butt naked and taken from their mothers, it was horrible. She went in to help one of the residents in the building and she was shocked at what she saw. There was stuff everywhere. Birth certificates and paperwork was thrown all over. Water was leaking into the hallway. ICE ransacked a residential building, dragged children out into U-Haul vans in Chicago, and no one is talking about it. Spread the word because people need to know.
Hi guys, this is Tina and you're welcome back to the channel. So what's happening in Chicago right now will break your heart. ICE agents stormed homes in the middle of the night and children, yes, you heard me right, children were taken, handcuffed and arrested. Imagine waking up to armed men dragging your family away with no warrant, no explanation, no mercy. This isn't immigration control, this is cruelty, wearing a badge. Well, let's watch what happened, guys.
Then y'all ain't even got handcuffs. They got these men like
and then y'all
surrounding
the fucking baby. You gotta
crying. Y'all fucking wrong for that shit.
Y'all got kids like y'all both as hell, man. You gotta eat cameras so y'all hurt this man.
And y'all the hood, man. Y'all, we said fuck y'all up. Y'all ain't got to do all that.
Man, look at their face. They mamas is immigrants for sure. What the fuck is wrong with them? His ass definitely some type of Hispanic.
It's two Mexicans right here, bro. That's what it is.
Y'all did it, that, bro.
Look, they taking the mama too. No, don't take her from her baby. Don't take her from her baby. I ain't trying to take the mama.
Bro, is y'all
Don't
crazy?
take her from her baby.
Bro, y'all ass bogus as hell.
Don't take her from her baby. They bogus.
It's y'all job.
I think they trying to take the mama now. Yeah, then y'all ain't even.
I really want people to sit with what happened here. They used Black Hawk helicopters in the middle of the night to rappel into an apartment building. They pulled everyone out, broke down the doors. Little kids who were sleeping naked or in their underwear, pulled out crying, zip tied together and thrown into U-Haul vans. Grown-ups, adults, seniors, did nothing wrong, middle of the night. Again, unclothed, zip tied together, thrown and detained for hours. No ability to make a phone call, no lawyer, no warrant, nothing. They are being abused. They're being assaulted. They're having their rights violated. They're having their possessions destroyed. It's hard for me to be shocked by what this administration does at this point when we're talking about pulling naked kids out of their beds, zip tying them together and throwing them in the back of a U-Haul van in the middle of the night. How can anyone, I don't care if you love Trump or hate Trump or you're anti, whatever, I don't know how anyone morally justifies this and feels okay with it and thinks that it doesn't directly implicate your own rights in your own life. These are criminal acts being committed by the DHS. They have decided that our rights do not exist, do not matter, that through brute force, they can literally do whatever they want to whoever they want. When your government that has the full force and power of the state is acting with complete and total impunity, that is a vastly greater danger than anything that we have seen in terms of undocumented immigrants coming into this country. And that's what I want people to really understand, okay? This is about immigration, but it's also not about immigration. This is a demonstration to the public. We can do whatever we want to you. You better stay in line. You better pray. You better be on our good side, because that is the only thing that will protect you. So you better shut up and sit down and get in line.
And she says they took everyone and then asked questions later.
They just treated us like we were nothing.
Patricia Fisher says she came out to the hallway of her apartment complex on the corner of 75th and South Shore Drive in her nightgown around 10 Monday night, only to find ICE agents yelling police.
It was scary because I've never had a gun put in my face. They asked my name and my date of birth and asked me did I have any warrants, and I told them no, I didn't.
She says she was then handcuffed and released around 3 a.m. Fisher says she was told if anyone had any kind of warrant out for them, even if it was unrelated to immigration, they would not be released. Citizenat video shows the chaotic scene overnight. Neighbors tell us there were dozens of ICE agents.
Come around the corner, because they was bringing the kids out too, had them zip tied to each other. That's all I kept asking. Where's the morality? Where's the human? One of them literally laughed. He was standing right here. He said, them kids.
Fuck the kids. Wow. So you tell me this whole time they could have mobilized in order to search for children. This is what they could have done to find the missing kids and women. Thousands and thousands of them. But instead they do this.
Kids dragged naked in the U-Haul vans in Chicago and nobody's talking about it. We have disturbing news about ICE and raid in Chicago earlier this week that almost no major outlet is covering. According to eyewitness Ebony Sweets Watson, who lives right across the street, it looked like hundreds of ICE agents were outside the building. She said she watched as agents dragged residents, including children, across the ground, some with no clothes on, and forced them into U-Haul vans. She described kids as they were ripped from their mothers. Even if you're not a mom, she said, seeing children come out naked, being taken from their mothers, it was horrible. When she went inside, she said the building was destroyed, birth certificates and paperwork scattered everywhere, water leaking down the hallway, and entire places ransacked. This wasn't a crime scene, it was a residential apartment building in Chicago. Families lived there, and yet children were dragged into U-Haul vans during this raid. Almost no one is reporting this. People need to know. My name is Frankie Bryant, and I'm on the road to 100,000 followers by the end of the year, and I would love for you to join my journey. Subscribe to my newsletter, the link in my bio, where I update you every 24 hours with stories that the mainstream media won't dare touch.
Do you see that hundreds of agents raided an apartment complex in Chicago in the middle of the night, taking children out naked and detaining black U.S. citizens? This happened around 1 a.m. at a large apartment complex in the South Shore neighborhood of Chicago. Over 300 agents from ICE, FBI, ATF, and other agents showed up to the apartment complex. They came with helicopters, some people saying they saw Black Hawk helicopters, and it seems that they also came hidden in budget and U-Haul trucks. Officials from the government said that they did this because they were looking for 6 high-priority targets, including suspected members of Tren de Aragua, even though they never showed a warrant while they were there, and they have not confirmed if they actually detained anyone that is a member of Tren de Aragua. Agents went into nearly all of the 100 apartments that were in the complex. They were busting down doors and dragging people out of their beds. There are reports of kids being zip-tied and being taken out buck naked. Black residents who are U.S. citizens also said that they were dragged out of their apartments. They were held at gunpoint.
Chicago, I need everyone on high red alert. This is a 5-alarm fire. ICE is apparently launching a new operation dubbed Freaky Friday today, targeting unaccompanied children aged 14 and older of all nationalities. So what we have learned, children detained and released will be sent a threat letter from ICE threatening indefinite detention and immediate transfer to ICE upon age out if they do not waive jurisdiction under the TVPRA and withdraw applications for relief. Children will be offered $2,500 to return to their countries of origin. If children do not comply with the offer, the letter intimates their parents in the U.S. will be arrested. ICE plans to detain all age outs, and they anticipate legal challenges. There are indications that the age threshold for this threat letter may be lowered to 10 years old. We understand they plan to first detain children, but will also target children released from custody. Giving this alarming information, we strongly encourage all LSPs to the extent possible to provide Know Your Rights presentations to all children they are working with in custody as soon as practicable, advising them of this plan and their rights not to sign anything without consulting their attorney. Also, consider advising children out of custody of the possibility of receiving a letter. File L3 forms for all children in custody as capacity allows. If a child receives a letter, please consider preparing a declaration that highlights the manner in which this ICE letter was delivered. Was counsel present and able to advise? Were youth able to ask questions? Evidence of coercion or intimidation, underlying fear of return elements related to the child's relief application. Litigators are coordinating and will provide more information on who to direct these decks to. Please report any concerns to the HHS Ombudsman's office here at ucoo@acf.hhs.gov.
So when a system starts arresting children in the name of law enforcement, that's no longer protection, that's persecution. Well, drop your thoughts below because silence right now means approval. And if you've made it this far, thank you for watching. Do well to share, like, and of course, subscribe to keep the channel moving. You already know this is Tina and will stand for truth. Till next time.